So what's good, Celtics fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Celtics Chronicle with me, your boy Adam Taylor. As usual, I'm joined by my homie, compadre, co-host in crime, Mr. Billy Calabrese. What's popping, Billy?
What's going on, everybody? How we doing?
Living, dude. We're living out here. It's the Celtics playing again today against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That'll be later this evening. But we're here to talk about Jayson Tatum and then a little bit about Jordan Walsh. So starting with Tatum, I think that we just need to dive into, there's been a lot of, I won't say hate, but pushback to the way Tatum's been playing over the last few games, predominantly based on his shooting splits, right? Like, shots aren't falling right now. Some are coming up too long, some are coming up too short. The too short is generally an indication of tired legs or just not generating enough power. Too long is just obviously his range is off at the moment. Either way you want to look at it, he's not shooting very well at all. And that seems to be annoying people, concerning people. I mean, he's averaging what, 17.6, 17.8 attempts per game. So the volume's there. It's just knocking the rust off, basically. And this was always going to be the case. It was always going to be a bumpy integration, especially so late in the season, being put into an offense that had already found its rhythm, already found its identity. Just reintegrating Tatum into that roster, into that rotation, and understanding that you're going to have to live or die with the makes and misses that are going to happen. He's 8 games back. They've played 9, but he's played in 8. So he's 8 games back from an Achilles injury. I didn't expect him to be nowhere near as good as what he has been as a rebounder, as a playmaker. And you can look at his assist numbers being low, but the fact of the matter is in the last game, he had 5 potential assists in the first half. Like, guys have to make their shots for assists to register. So it's very hard to judge him based on assists if the team's having a bad shooting. Like 3 out of their last 5 games, the team as a whole has shot under 30% from deep. So it's not like Tatum struggles are his and his alone. So I just want to get your thoughts on this as well, just because, there's been a huge narrative right now of people being very frustrated with the way Tatum's shooting. And I think that expecting him to be an all-NBA guy 8 games since coming back is just incredibly short-sighted, incredibly unrealistic, and kind of bullshit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I just want to point out, has everybody gone insane? You guys realize that Tatum hasn't played in almost 300 days? This is essentially a preseason exhibition games for him. This is 8 games to try to get his legs under him. Yeah, of course his shot's not there. Where do you think shooting comes from? But let's talk about everything else he's doing, the rebounding, the defense, the fact that he'll have moments where he looks like Jayson Tatum again. Do you guys realize how much of a miracle that freaking is? It's like we just signed, he's basically 17-8 is what he's averaging since he came back. It's like we just got Tobias Harris off the scrap heap. And that's the floor. He's only going to get better than that. And we're complaining. We're 6-2 in those games. It's not like his horrible shooting that everybody's so concerned about has cost us a single game already. Like, what is going on with people? It's a freaking miracle he's playing basketball.
And the fact that he's driving, he's attacking the rim, like, okay, he's not seeking out contact, but he's not shying away from it neither. Like, if he attacks the lane and someone rotates over, he's not passing out of that unless it's the right play to make at that moment in time. He's gone up strong a few times. He's gone up with some contested layups. He's gone up for offensive rebounds. It's not like he's scared to create contact or embrace contact, which was a concern coming in because obviously you need to learn to retrust your body. The whole issue right now is just the shot. And that could be interior, like in the mid-range, around the elbows. It could be on the perimeter. Whatever it may be, I still think that we're very early into this comeback story. And it's not meant to be pretty. Jaylen Brown warned everybody about this after Tatum's first game. And he was like, yo, I know this looks good right now, but it's probably going to get bumpy. I don't want Celtics fans to panic. Those were I'm paraphrasing, but those were Jaylen Brown's words. But everyone's panicking. And I think that sometimes it can be really easy to live or die with each game, right? Like, oh, the Celtics won. They're the best team in the world. Everyone's great. Jaylen played great. And then the next game, they don't play well. And it's like, it's this whole like 98.5 WEEI kind of mentality where it's like the body of work doesn't matter more than the individual instance. And I don't subscribe to that at all in any way, shape, or form. Yes, the shot's ugly at the moment. There's been a few, like that third quarter where he came in and just dropped a couple of threes off the rep, and it was great. But for the most part, it's going to be inconsistent. It's 8 games in. The rest of the guys he's playing against are 16, nearly 70 games into their season. They're comfortable. They're in rhythm. They've had the season to ramp up. And then you factor in the fatigue side of this as well. Like, his body must be barking, dude. Like, sore everywhere, muscles just cramping up. Factor in that along with the rehab he's having to do to make sure that Achilles is continuing to be strengthened game to game. It's not easy, man. I just think he needs a little bit of grace here. I think that expectations should be tempered. And look, Bobby Manning said this really well the other day, actually. He was like, if you didn't view the Celtics as a genuine championship contender coming into this season and they don't win a championship, or if you don't believe they were going to win a championship without Tatum, then if they don't win one with him, you haven't lost anything. You've just got Tatum back and you've got more reps ready for next season. And I kind of agree with that. Like, I didn't have the Celtics winning a chip with or without Tatum, no matter how well they've been playing. I think the Thunder is still a better team. I think the who else is a better team, actually? There's a few teams out west that are a better team. I'm not worried about anyone in the East, and Detroit just lost Cade. So, it's not like that's going to happen. Well, Oklahoma's a better team. I think Denver would give Boston a bunch of problems right now. I'm never scared of the Lakers with the Luka Doncic thing going on. But look, what I'm getting at is this season wasn't about a championship coming in. It shouldn't be about a championship coming in towards the end, because that's just not where they are in their timeline. Right now, it's about getting Tatum back to being Tatum, or as close to as possible for next season. Now, if you can get him back to 80%, 70%, maybe you are an NBA finalist. Tatum raises your floor that much. If you can't, then okay. But at the end of the day, this was always the risk of bringing him back, and he decided to come back, and he's looked really good for long stretches or short stretches, growing stretches. The shot will come, but we shouldn't be shocked if that takes another 10 games.
And why not? Like, what do we have to lose? We're essentially locked in the 2 or 3 seed, whichever way you want to put it. And I don't think this team really cares about home court. Like, yeah, it would be nice to have home court against the Knicks, especially, since they did beat us last year. But I don't think that's going to be a priority over trying to get Jayson Tatum as close to being Jayson Tatum as possible, because everything that's really wrong with him is just timing stuff. And that will come. He has basically a month until the playoffs to kind of get that back. So, like I said, I would not want to lose the 2 seed, but if we're 3 and then we just have to, play against the Knicks in the second round, those first 2 games in New York, I am very confident we could steal 1 out of the first 2.
And look, if you do, you do. If you don't, don't. The point of it for me, and look, I want the Celtics to win the chip as much as the next guy. But the point of this postseason for me will be, how far can you get Tatum back along? How much closer to an all NBA guy is he by the end of the postseason as compared to where he was on day 1 of the postseason? Because that's going to be what ultimately puts you in position to win more chips. You know what I mean? Does he come out of it healthy? Do you avoid another injury? Yeah, if you beat the Knicks, great. Do you know what? I'll be happy, because the Knicks were talking all kinds of shit last summer when Tatum had gone down and they won. And look, man, that franchise has been success star for decades. So let them talk like it's okay. It's annoying at the time, but they're just celebrating their team's success. I'm not going to hate on that. What I will hate on is if Celtics fans turn on Tatum for this. Like, Jaylen Brown has been fantastic all season, and I don't think you should take away from that by blaming Tatum and being like, Tatum dragged him down. This is a team sport. If they go down as a unit. But overall, man, it is what it is. Tatum's shot's it's going to be clunky, and that's okay. Like you said, the defense has been good. They've been using him as that like low, weak side guy, roaming over and offering secondary rim protection. I see it as slight load management during play, like in-play load management, taking him away from the point of attack quite a lot. They're switching him on to guys when they need to, but for the most part, they're kind of protecting him defensively. Playmaking's been there. He's second on the team in touches since he returned. So it's not like the ball isn't in his hands. It's just not in his hands as much as we've become accustomed to. But what I would prefer is, because the ball's not in his hands so much, I prefer some more of his shots coming off the catch. His catch and shoot numbers are actually decent. I think last time I looked, they were like 35% from deep on catch and shoot threes. It's just the volume so low, because most of the volume is coming on off the dribble pull-up threes, and he's never been like an exceptional off the dribble pull-up guy. Like, even in his best years, it's always been like mid to low 30s. So if he's playing off ball a bit more, maybe you try and get him some more shots off the catch where you know he's going to be successful. Start pulling those averages up and taking him out of the firing line for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even mind the pull-up threes and like the off the dribble stuff just because it's just him trying to get used to being on a basketball court again. It's just kind of like him overcompensating for being away so long, just trying to get a feel for the game. Like a lot of times you just kind of want to touch the ball just to feel involved in a basketball game, and then you start to get your rhythm. So I kind of give him a pass for that because I don't think it's necessarily something that he wants to do, but it's kind of something he kind of has to do just to get him his mojo back.
And they're not exactly bad shots either, right? Like, it's not like these off the dribble threes are heavily contested. For the most part, they're open or lightly contested. Like, he's creating space from sidestep, step backs. He'll cross guys over and like snatch it back and then go into it. Like, he's creating space before shooting off the dribble. They're not bad shots. It's just they're not falling right now. And after dribble shooting has never been where he consistently excels. He has really hot stretches, and then he'll go a bit cold, then he'll go hot. It's just the way he is. That's the way his entire after dribble pull-up game has worked for most of his career. So expecting him to just be hot all the time, it's unrealistic, especially when you factor in the injury, the time away. Yeah, I would prefer him to get a few more shots off the catch just to start seeing them fall more, right? Like, but I get what you're saying as well. Like, sometimes you just want to be involved. Like, you need him to feel comfortable with the rock in his hands. You need him to feel comfortable coming off screens with the ball and dragging it out and getting his timing with Nimi. There's a lot more that goes into it than just, hey, catch the ball and shoot. Like, because that's not going to be a role you're going to be in for very long anyway. But yeah, I don't think his pull-up shots are bad. I just think maybe lower that volume by 2 or 3 shots a game and then move them shots over to catch and shoot just to give you a little bit more balance, a little bit more consistency while you ramp back up.
Yeah, and he just needs to see the ball go on the hoop as many times as possible. Because I mean, as anybody who shot a basketball knows, when you see one go in, it's just like that weight off your shoulders. Then he's gonna keep feeling better and better about himself the more it goes on.
Yeah, you saw it in the third quarter of the last game. He comes in, first shot goes down, and all of a sudden he's on a little bit of a flurry. And then all of a sudden the ball just stops finding him, and then he goes cold again. Like, I don't know. I think that there's logic in letting him continue to shoot through this, but I think there's also logic in putting him in positions that those shots are shots that he's comfortable with now. They're valuable shots. Catch and shoot from the corner, catch and shoot from the wing, rip throughs off the catch, stampede cuts, bully drives, working out of the mid post more. There's so many opportunities you can give to Tatum to score in different ways. It's just finding that balance. And I think that with this current team, with how there's so many new faces, there's so many young guys, it's finding what shots work within the flow of the current offense as well, right? The shot diet has to make sense for the overall team approach. And that takes some time to figure out too. Like, everybody's kind of figuring this out on the fly. Guys are figuring out how to work best off Tatum. Tatum's figuring out how to fit in with the way this team plays right now. It's a process. I just don't understand why so many people are upset. It just doesn't register as logical in my brain.
Yeah, it's just like the media needs something because it's kind of been a slow news week, and it's like, well, the Celtics have been good, but they haven't been great since Tatum came back. So let's latch onto this because we'll get our clicks. Like all these player podcasts, former player podcasts attacking them. The ESPN shows have actually been a little more than fair, but it's still out there and it's still a topic being debated, which really the topic that should be talked about is, look at this. This is freaking amazing. This is a medical miracle. Achilles injuries are not death sentence anymore.
No, not at all. I think that you can really bounce back well. And there's a few big names that are due to come back, like Tyrese Halliburton, Lillard. I can't remember. There was another guy that was out with one as well.
Oh, DeJounte Murray.
There we go, DeJounte Murray. There's a few guys that are going to come back that I think are all going to reach close to the level they were at before the injury. It just takes time. And the fact that Tatum's come back and put himself in the firing line and he's putting his body through whatever it's going through right now, and then the fan base is tearing him to pieces. Well, sections of the fan base are tearing him to shreds. The media are tearing him to shreds. And it's like, dude, it's been 8 games. 9 if you count the one he didn't play. 8 if you count the ones he has played. 8. Like, I don't know how many more times I need to say it. Like, that's nothing. If we were talking at the start of the season and I was putting out stats and I was like, oh, well, their offensive rating is this, or their defensive rating is that, or when they rebound, they initiate fast breaks. The first pushback anyone would give me in the comment section, whether it would be you, whether it would be somebody I was talking to if I was out stateside, first pushback I'd get is it's 8 games, small sample size, can't really make nothing of that right now. So why is that okay? But then on the flip side, when it's Tatum and it's like, well, he's had 8 games, he shouldn't have come back if he wasn't ready. Like, there's a double standard, and I get it because people see the contract value and they see how much he's earning and they see the percentage of the cap that he's taking up and they expect immediate returns there, but that's just not the way things work. It just doesn't. I think there needs to be a bit more grace. I'm quite passionate about this, by the way, because I just feel like this is how you run players out of town. The media, I like to call them like the pilled fan base, the sections of the fan base that are like, well, 98.5 said he should have been the version we saw against Dallas all the time, and he's not. So I'm angry. Like, no, I'm not about that.
No, the witch hunt stuff has to stop, and that's like Boston media staple. They do this to their players, the coaches, in every sport. It's just something that they thrive on negativity. Because like the Red Sox went almost like 100 years without winning a World Series. They have this like kind of thing like where they just already talk about the worst case scenario before it happens. So when it happens, they can act like they're satisfied. Like, yeah, we told you so. Oh, it's so freaking annoying. But the problem is it's really just one thing, because the offensive rating's fine. The net rating's fine. Tatum's already near the top of the roster in net rating. His net rating's higher than Jalen's.
So only a small sample size, man. It's been 8 games.
Exactly. That also is true, but it's like, it's literally just the shooting percentage. And it's like, really, is that all we care about? Like, we know that volume scorers take a lot of shots.
Yeah. Shooters shoot. It's literally a saying. People say it all the time, dating, whether you're playing games, whether you're trying to get a job and you're just firing off CV, like resumes, shooters shoot. Of course, he's taking a lot of shots. And this isn't at you, Billy. This is just, I'm venting right now. You feel me? So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm completely with you. By the way, I'm wearing a One Tree Hill hoodie. I'm going through my watch route. Not a hoodie, a T-shirt. It's a T-shirt. There's no hood. I just wanted to put that out there for anyone watching that's trying to read what it says, because I keep catching myself trying to read it. With that being said, I think we've kind of exhausted all of that area of the Tatum conversation. Obviously, there's plenty more areas we can look at moving forward. But I did want to touch on, and if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, actually, you would have seen me put this out yesterday. Where's Jordan Walsh? What happened? Like, seriously, what happened? Like, the dude was starting. He started the season on the bench. Joe Mazzulla figured out he preferred him in the starting lineup over Josh Minott. Josh Minott ended up like losing minutes left, right, and center until he was a DMP CD pretty much all the time. Then obviously Tatum comes back. Guys are going to lose minutes. We did an episode on guys who were most likely to lose minutes, and I even remember saying it was going to be Jordan Walsh. What I didn't expect was that Ron Harper Jr. would be getting minutes over Jordan Walsh. What I didn't expect was there'll be games when Ron Harper Jr. plays and Jordan Walsh did not play. And we're talking about a two-way guy in Ron Harper Jr. getting minutes over a guy on a full-level NBA deal with a team option at the end of this season, which is Jordan Walsh. And I just think it's a bit of a fall from grace, considering like he had some really good games in the starting 5. I thought that his defensive intensity was good. His explosiveness gave you a different look when you had him and JB off on the court together, and they could both just slash and explode around the rim. They could shoot off the catch. And now he's just, he's played 3 of the last 10. And in those 3 of the last 10 that he's played, he's played a total of 15 minutes. So he's not seeing the floor right now. Ron Harper Jr. is seeing it before him. I'm very okay with Hugo being above him in that rotation. But I do have questions on whether or not Walsh stays with his team beyond this season, or whether the Celtics kind of either pick up the team option and flip him or just let him leave.
Yeah, I'm so confused on the people with the train of thought, like, why isn't Walsh playing more? Like, let's be honest here. Baylor, from start to finish, now, he's made so many leaps and gotten better every month as the season went on. Ugo, same kind of thing. Walsh, he kind of peaked in December, and there's really not much higher of a ceiling for a player like that. It really reminds me of a player I love. We ended up giving away for nothing, but it was the right move in the long run was Jared Springer. Remember when Springer had that run where we're like, dude, we got a lockdown guy off the bench out of nowhere for basically free. And it's like, that's probably Walsh's ceiling because the offense just isn't there. And I don't know if there's anything else he could really do besides being that guy you might want to put into full court press for 5 to 8 minute stretch.
I see him as like, he's still young, right? What is he, 21, 22? Still like crazy young. The biggest thing for me, and the whole reason I'm talking about this, is because I'm more shocked. I expected him to be the one out of the rotation when Tatum come back. We spoke about this. You can go onto the channel. You can find the conversation. It's there. What I wasn't expecting was a two-way guy. Now, I think Ron Harper eventually gets converted the same way Max Shulker did. But right now, he's a two-way guy. I did not expect him to be getting minutes over Tatum. Not saying he's not, over Walsh. Not saying he's not good enough not to do that, because I think Ron Harper Jr. has been more well-rounded. I wouldn't say as impactful in any one area. I think Walsh is dramatically more impactful defensively, more disruptive in the passing lanes. But I just think that Harper's more rounded. He gives you a more complete impact rather than like a niche down kind of impact. But I didn't expect him to be getting minutes over Walsh. And that's kind of what's led me to this conversation is, you are right, Walsh peaked and didn't build on it, whereas Baylor built on it, Hugo built on it. Obviously, Ron Harper Jr. is trying to build on it when he gets the minutes. But for me, it's more along the lines of, well, this dude's got a team option. At the end of this season that you have not picked up right now. Now, the odds are you pick it up even if you're planning on moving on from him, because why let him leave for free when you can try and get an asset back, or you can put him as part of a trade or whatever it may be. But that's kind of been where my thought process has been going. Like, this dude's got a team option. I do think he's going to need to go down the Aaron Nesmith route of go to a team that needs some wings, go to a team that can give you 10 to 18 minutes a night and develop with consistent playing time all year, period, right? Not a stretch, not here and there, like all year, round and round in an NBA game, not in a G League, in an NBA game. And we'll see where your development goes. Now, the problem is it's a wings league right now. We went through the point guard era. Now we're in the wings era. So it's very hard to find a team in need of a young wing like that can give you the minutes you need to develop.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel like he'll be with us just because of the guys that are ahead of him currently. And just the way Brad just seems to have like a wing tree in his backyard. And he could just pluck these guys out of thin air.
Bigs too.
Bigs too, apparently, which is why we love Brad Stevens. But I don't know. It just seems like his ceiling as a player is just going to be always limited because of the offensive side, no matter how great the defense is.
I mean, he's great as a slasher. He's really bouncy. He's got some explosiveness to him. I think the 3-point shot with reps could develop. I don't think, like, upside, long-term, 3 and D wing, whether it's on the bench or starting. Right now, it's just a D wing, and, like, you need that 3 to be added onto that kind of player profile if you want to be successful in the NBA. But, again, it's very hard to develop. You can develop behind the scenes in practices and everything, but it's very hard to develop an optimal rate when you're not playing all the time. And, you know, some players have the power. If you look at the noise Jonathan Kuminga made as a high-level wing that didn't think he was playing enough to develop, he finally got the move he wanted. Steve Kerr admitted a week or so ago that, you know, the best thing for Kuminga would have been to land on a bad team where he could get minutes, because that's how you develop. It's the same for Walsh. He was, obviously, it's a bit different. He was a late second rounder and he was young, but the opportunity is just not there for him in Boston right now. And if they're preferring two-way guys over him, then maybe the writing's on the wall.
My only pushback on the he has to play to get better thing is Nesmith really didn't. What made Nesmith better was practicing against Tatum and Brown for years. And then when he finally went to another team, he was ready to make the leap. So I do think that being in practice against these elite wings, and then even these guys that are kind of whooping his butt right now and taking his spot, like the Ugos and, you know, the Baylors, I think it's only going to make him better. I think that's where he has to show he can do it before a team gives him a chance to do it, even a bad team.
Yeah, I mean, but he's been doing that this is his 3rd or 4th year. It's his 3rd year. Like, he's been around these guys. He's been in practices with these guys. This isn't a rookie year. Like, 3rd year is when you are meant to make your leap. This was the year that he was meant to make that jump. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, like in year 4 or year 5 or whenever it may be. But at some point, especially for a Celtics team on a retool, you need to kind of be like, it's not happening here. It hasn't happened. We've put like, it's just not happening. At which point, maybe it's time to move on. I don't know. I'm just saying. That kind of wraps me up with my thoughts, though. I mean, unless you've got anything else you want to say, we can let these people get out of here.
No, that was a lot of fun. I do just want to add to it is maybe that's why after December he just kind of started to dwindle out of the rotation. It's like we saw what the end game is here.
You just don't know, right? I mean, I'm hope like I never want anybody to get traded. I never want anyone to lose their job. But if there's a better situation for him out there, then I do hope that he winds up there, because I think that's going to be what ultimately makes or breaks his career.
Yeah,
unfortunately. 100%. With that, everybody, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, showing some love. Me and Billy will be back soon. We got some cool stuff lined up. I know it's been a minute. We need to get more consistent there. Until later, we love you. Peace.
Peace.